Hey, welcome back, or if it's your first time here, welcome. Today we're building a mob farm, and since we want to fight the dragon in episode 10, we need a lot of experience to prepare our weapons and that kind of thing, so we need that experience from mobs. There's only 2 more episodes to go, so we're getting pretty close. So if you stick around, you'll be able to see the mob farm build a little bit later on in this video, and just how effective it is at giving us XP and awesome loot, and I'll also explain how it works. Before we get to the mob farm, I have another build I want to show you. This was recorded on a stream and there's not really any purpose to the building yet other than being a bit of a lookout. But I just love that this fox has kind of made it into its home. Look at the guy, he's so cute. He's a little bit skittish though, so we need to be careful not to scare him. And I do like the view that you see out of the windows. While I've got you here, I just wanted to stop for a moment and ask the question of the day. Now, last time I asked where you lived, and I got a huge variety of answers. Some were from Australia, where I am, but also plenty from the United States, Scotland, even South Africa. So thanks so much for that. That's really interesting. That's an amazing range, and it's just amazing to me to even think about that. You guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Now, I'd like to make this a regular thing. So today's question is, do you normally play on a random seed or a seed that you've chosen beforehand? Generally, in my case, I'm always playing on a random seed. Part of the reason I'm asking is because seed videos tend to be pretty popular and it's not really anything I've ever looked into before. So I'm just wondering if that's something you personally are interested in. I look forward to your answers and I'll be checking the comments section and replying to as many as I can. Let's continue with the Let's Play. I've been hard at work breeding cows and harvesting them for leather on stream, so much so that I've actually managed to complete the bookshelves around the enchanting table here. So that's 15 bookshelves in total, for full power enchants up to level 30. And here's what you've been waiting for. I've got a time lapse of about halfway through building the mob farm. I lost some of the footage for the initial part, but this gives you sort of part of the idea of me building it, and it'll show you a tour of the entire thing afterwards. Now what I'm doing here is building the central hole, which is where the mobs will be washed down into, and the fence gates are there just to make sure the water doesn't go into the hole as well. Now I wasn't really following a plan as I was building this, I was just building it as I went. So what I was doing with the water was just trying to make sure it would fit with where I needed it to be and it would wash the mobs into the centre. And I have a very quick and effective way of getting back down again. The way up is slow and takes forever, but later in this video you'll notice that I actually swapped it out with a bubble stream, which is much faster and much better. Now since I need a way to dispense the water, I'm building dispensers, one at a time since you can't make them in bulk. And you might notice that the fence gates are on the edge, not in the centre. That's because I'm actually building just half of the mob farm at the moment as a proof of concept. And I discovered it needs to be bigger, so I'm expanding it by 4 blocks on each side. And yeah, it's ugly cobblestone. If we defeat the End Dragon, we can come back and fix this. This is just getting us there. And because we're going to have redstone on the outside, we need at least 1 block width where we can actually put the redstone wiring. Now what I'm doing here is trying to work out exactly where the dispensers need to place the water source blocks. So I'm trying to place all the water source blocks that I need and just making sure that that it flows correctly. And it's at this point where I actually switched to my non-hardcore single player world to check how I built my previous mob farm and where the dispensers were spaced out and that kind of thing, so I could replicate it in hardcore. And hopefully this gives an indication of what I want our hardcore mob spawners to look like when I've replaced the cobblestone later. And so I returned and tried to apply the same things to the hardcore one, including increasing the hole from a 2x2 to a 3x3 because I mistakenly made it too small earlier. Now the time lapse was cut a little short, so let me demonstrate the finished result. Now I've set up a chest collection system at the bottom here. As you can see, there's multiple chests, and the way it works is that the 9 hoppers at the top at the 3x3 collection area will collect anything that falls from the mobs when they're killed, and then it will go down the hoppers into the bottom chest first. The bottom chest will fill up first, then the hopper next to it, then the second chest and the second hopper, and vice versa. So it will fill up from the bottom. This is quite a simple system, and it can be used anywhere in a compact environment, in a compact area. So this is the area where the mobs will fall down to. If we go and have a look, we can see there's a few zombies in here, and if we kill them we get the experience as you'd expect, and the items will fall down into the hopper, including those golden boots just then. Heading up the top, I'll show you where the mobs spawn before they fall down to this collection area. I have had some scary moments where I've climbed up here and faced some mobs, including creepers. And what I worked out is that I didn't have the top area on top of here actually lit up. So if you're creating a mob farm, please make sure that you are lighting up the top with either torches or putting half slabs on there so that they can't spawn, especially if you're playing hardcore. Now to properly demonstrate how this works, I just need to disable it quickly. And to disable it, I need to break a few of these and just wait for it to time out. So as you can see, it's coming around now, and the signal has now timed out and is no longer running. So I can now place these back. Now the way it works is that we start a signal, and when we start the signal, we trigger that, it goes around, and we set the repeaters to the longest possible delay so that it will take a while to get through, and every time it reaches the end, it will trigger that signal to go up the end and around the mob farm and trigger the water to either be released or picked back up again. So all the water is turned on at once, and then it's all turned off at once. So the idea is when there's no water in here, mobs are able to spawn, and then the mobs that have spawned get washed down. Now I think I might want to actually increase that timer a little bit later. Now this is only half done. The hole should be ideally in the center, but I've built only half as a proof of concept, and it's working really well so far. Now this can be done in a much more efficient way using a hopper clock. Not only is it more space efficient, but it's also more efficient if you're trying to increase the duration of the delay, which I actually need to do for this one. It's actually a bit short at the moment. The way the hopper clock works is it just uses 2 hoppers and passes items between it, and the more items there are, the longer the delay. With this design, to increase the delay, we need to add more repeaters, and you need a lot of repeaters to do a decent amount. And the footage for the hopper clock was taken from an SMP that I play on. Let me know if you'd like to see more content about that. So the way this works is the redstone then powers the plank. Because the plank is powered, it also triggers the dispenser that is next to it. If there is an empty bucket in the dispenser, it picks up water that is in front of it, and if there is a full bucket, it dispenses the water. So we can have this alternating motion where it turns the water on and off using this quite simple approach. Now to show you the loot that we've got from this mob farm already, there's a significant number of music discs, and what I find amazing is not just the number, but the fact that they're all unique. Now my understanding of how these music discs are generated is a skeleton shooting a creeper and killing it. So what I'm assuming is happening is the skeleton is seeing me outside the mob farm and aiming at me and hitting the creeper, and this must be happening quite often, because I haven't really used the farm all that much. We are getting plenty of other loot as well. For example, gunpowder, which is going to be amazingly useful later on. We are going to need a lot of gunpowder because an elytra without rockets is useless, and we need lots of gunpowder and lots of paper to make rockets. And out of those 2 things, the one that is most difficult to get and farm is gunpowder early game. And we have so much gunpowder now, we almost have 8 stacks. We got a trident guy. Whoa, wait a second, this is not good. Where are you, dude? Are you down there? Oh, that hurts. Wow. You hit hard. Let's heal up because we're losing hearts. Okay, where's this guy? He's down here, okay. You throw high. Oh, I just found the zombie to my left. I got him. I don't think he dropped a trident. I'm gonna have to check in a second. This bow Yeah, it's a pretty powerful bow, that's right. The only thing lacking is power 4 instead of power 5. This is from all that experience I've got from up there, and then enchanting. I've got some really decent weapons now. And I named it the Dragon Killer, because I want it to be a Dragon Killer. We'll see if that succeeds. I've got to get down there and check. Look at this guy. Look what he's done. There's just tridents everywhere coming after me. It's crazy. Let's see if I can find a trident. I don't think he dropped one. There's rotten flesh, but no tridents. If I set my render distance to 64 chunks, I have something I want to show you really quickly. So, just down from over here, we have a village, which will be interesting to explore later. But the reason that's particularly interesting is because over here, we have one of these towers, one of these bad boys. So we can trigger these pillagers and start a raid, and then bring them over to this village over here, and potentially get a Totem of Undying and other things. It would also be a massive help with the dragon fight. I think I might want to try that, and I've never done a raid before, at all, in any version of Minecraft. And our base is just down here. And all we need to go, this is the direction we haven't really explored too much. We went over here to look for cows, but if I'd only gone slightly further, I would have spotted this. I want to do that, potentially next episode, so stay tuned for that. And now with the extra XP I got just from today, I want to merge my Dragon Killer powerful bow with another powerful bow to make it power 5. And not in the enchanting table because I'm clearly a noob. So for 22 levels, that's quite expensive, but we will get the best bow we can possibly get in this game. And it's infinity, which means we can't mend it later, it will eventually break. But we only need one arrow in our inventory, and we can shoot as many of these as we want. And then, rather annoyingly, because it's infinity, we can't pick them back up, which means they will just stay there and annoying us. They will despawn after a while, however we can at least use water to put the fire out so that they're a little bit less annoying and they'll just be arrows in the ground. Since last episode I've also made this cozy little carrot farm, and you may have noticed that I'm actually carrying golden carrots, which I wasn't before. Now I can do this because with our many mining trips we've been able to get quite a few resources, and I have a decent amount of gold, so all I need is golden nuggets and I can surround that around the carrot and make golden carrots, which is probably one of the best food sources you can get in the game. The other thing I've done is improve this section over here, so we have things going into the composter, which then turns into bone meal, so we aren't going to run out of bone meal anytime soon. We have plenty now. Subscribe to watch me fight the dragon in episode 10, and one more important message that you really need to know is that you're awesome for watching this far. See you next time. A bug, yes, there's a bit of an issue where no, that is a major issue. Oops.